So we got Bitcoin right now within the same exact. This is what we've been saying for the last couple of weeks too. It's funny how this stuff just plays out. Ever since BTC was in between the February monthly open and the 2025 yearly open, we've been saying that this provides zero signal. And guess what? We've continued for the last week or two, literally just ranging right in between these two this monthly open and this yearly open, because it provides zero signal. Market doesn't know what direction it wants to go. Therefore, Bitcoin's not doing anything. So just to show a couple of quick indicators on here, I was showing the gentleman inside of the Taylor's code this morning on some charts I was posting. If we look at Bitcoin here, just on some of the indicators, we want to look at the daily because this will give us a little bit better data. So I put this ray right here, right below the RSI on Bitcoin. So Bitcoin looks like it's bottomed on the RSI. It doesn't really look like it want to come down any lower. And it's been bottoming right at this range right here. So I can see Bitcoin basically doing something like this, kind of just slowly kind of bottoming out like this and then going like that. Just because the RSI looks bottomed out, I can't imagine it's come down much lower. The Williams percent is also bottomed here at the almost, or pretty much in the oversold now. So just based on the Bitcoin indicators on the daily, I don't really see much more downside on Bitcoin, which is good. Now we just need an actual decisive move to the upside so the rest of the market can actually pick up and do something. Now, Bitcoin is not what I want to focus on a lot today. We'll do a little bit of Ethereum real quick as well. So I had sent this in to the Taylor's code this morning as well, whenever we got this big meat stick on Ethereum this morning. First thing I said was, hey, it's a Monday open. So I don't believe the market's actually open in New York, but it's a Monday move because today's President's Day. So we usually get this scam move on Mondays, and that's typically a fade. Okay, so we've said that before. Mondays is usually a fade. You know, if the market pumps on a Monday open or around a Monday open, typically that move is going to get retraced and vice versa. So you see this big move happen on Ethereum, completely get retraced almost instantly, and now we're coming back down, okay? So why did that happen? Well, if we look, I actually posted the chart in the Discord. I'm not going to show it on here, though. I'm not going to give away too much alpha. But basically, open interest, Logan, had been shot up on Ethereum. So a ton of people opened hundreds of millions of dollars worth of ETH longs. And so those longs basically created this push up on Ethereum. Once Ethereum got up into that 2850 range, looks like a lot of them got closed, and that's what shot the price back down instantly. But that was due to almost completely OI, open interest. And because Bitcoin didn't make a move to the upside with it, that's why that you saw that pump retrace. So I don't know if you saw that this morning, but yeah, it was open interest that had done that.
Yeah, I didn't see that it was open interest. I figured it was pretty scammy though, because I was getting the notifications on my phone. It said ETH's up 5%. I said, oh, that's interesting, because I'm getting notifications at the same time that Solana's down 5%.
Exactly.
I'm like, Ethereum definitely does not have the strength right now to be making breakout moves on its own. I was like, something's off. So usually if I'm getting just ETH moving up notifications, I know something's wrong.
Right.
So yeah, I clicked into it. I saw it was up to like 2750, 28, 2800, 2850, and then that's when I was getting my labs done. And then I checked it after my blood work, and it was already retraced pretty much the whole move back to like 2750.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I checked the Bitcoin chart, saw it hadn't done anything. I said, yep, something scamming. Markets are closed today. It's a Monday morning. Bit of finesse going on for sure. So
That's exactly what it was. I'm looking at the chart right now that I posted. So open interest was at a little bit under 23 billion on ETH, and then it pumped all the way up to 25, almost 26 billion dollars. So a couple billion in a couple of hours got opened up on ETH, and that's what caused that price to shoot up like that.
makes sense.
So
Yeah, I mean, it's not looking bad though. I mean,
it's curling. It's trying to tease us. That's what I'm saying. It's teasing us. And so I want to show you guys something that I had posted again in the Discord over the weekend that I want to go over on the stream. Look at this little fucking move right here. Look at that. I was looking at the chart. I was trying to find some confluence and some price action that looked similar to what we had before on ETH. Look at this, Harry. This is interesting. So what we had been doing is comparing this move to this move on August 5th when we had this huge liquidation. So if I open up the RSI, okay, so I'll draw it out again. We had this liquidation, which would have been this liquidation wick. We had this pump back up to the range high, and then we come back and we fill the wick, okay? So we get this liquidation, we come back up, we hit the top of the range, right? And so in theory, we would get, if we're...
Please no.
Yes, exactly. I know we don't want to see it, but in theory, we would get a move like this back down to fill the wick right there, right? Okay, like that.
I don't think we're going to.
So exactly. Okay. That's what I was just going to get to, because now I'm not seeing that, because that almost is too obvious. And you'll learn in markets like this, if it's too obvious, sometimes it's actually signal that it's not going to happen because it's overcrowded, that trade. Most people think it's going to happen, so it actually ends up not happening. So that's what would be playing out if it was the same thing from August 5th. Here's the thing though, right? So let's get rid of those drawings. What if we're doing this, Harry? Check this shit out. Okay, you see this little range I drew back over here?
Yep.
Okay, look at this. So we're here, we're ranging. We get this breakout, this bull trap, this deviation from the range, and we nuke back into the range and then up only, right? Look at this. Ranging, break out of the range, big deviation bear trap, come back into the range, and then up only. Do you see the similarity there?
Yeah, and I mean, if you go back a little bit further on the chart too, what was it doing before it got into that range that you drew? I guess it was ranging down at the bottom too.
Yeah, it was down here. This was bear market. Yeah.
It's a range for forever.
Yeah. But it looks similar. So this is just on a much larger scale over here, but that's basically the same structure that this one had built, right? So you come into this range, except this one was from under, this one came from above. We come in, we start ranging right here, just like this, right? We start ranging, we get this breakout move. Here's the breakout move. We break down from the breakout move, right? We break down for the breakout move, and then we nuke back into the range that we had previously formed. Look at this. We nuke back into the range, right, that we had previously formed. Here, though, look, we didn't get this refill of this wick right here. We didn't come back down and refill it. We just kind of nuked back down, reversed, and then boom, up only. Right? But everybody was expecting this wick to get filled right here. Right? Everybody was expecting it to come back down in here. Right? We never got it. So what if that's the same thing that's playing out over here, where everybody's expecting this wick to come back down and get filled, but then it just doesn't, and then you just end up fucking pumping. Right?
Yeah. I mean, I just think for the time of the year, yeah, there's no way. Because it's like over the summer, whenever it pulled back on August, it's like it ranged for 3 months, 4 months. It's like we don't have time,
Right?
time for that shit right now. And if you go back like a couple years to the last time that, yeah. So this price, I think we were talking about it either a week or two ago. Once we busted down below this like 2700 level. So this level that we're at right now has been historically really significant on Ethereum.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you look at the last cycle, whenever we've come to this level, it likes to either snap way below, or once it breaks through, it just starts ripping face.
Right.
And it's done it, whenever it's coming up from underneath, once it hits that level, it just tends to start going parabolic. But if it comes down below it, like you look in April, May of 2021, which was after that first big leg up. Yeah, right there. It comes down to this like 2800 level and snaps all the way down to, what did it go down to? Like 1300?
You're right. Like right in here. So you see a lot of movement here, right? So it breaks through, pump hard, comes back down, it breaks down through it, comes back down, breaks through, pumps hard, retest, pumps hard, right? There's a lot of interaction going on in this price level. And then it finally breaks down through it again, and then boom, you nuke, right?
And on that wick down on like April, yeah,
April.
right there. What did that wick from? It was up to like 46, 4,700, and it wicked down to what, like 15, 1,400?
The full move, like from up here,
Yeah.
60%. Yeah, it went from minus $2,600. Hilarious. So it came from 43.90 all the way down to 1,700 before ending up making a new all-time high. Think about people trying to handle that kind of price action right now. They'd be fucking can we say that? They'd be jumping off of bridges.
In GTA 6.
Yeah, in GTA 6. Yeah. So, right. So people, look at this. ETH went from $4,300, wicked all the way down to 1,700 in the matter of what? Days.
8 days.
8 days.
12 days.
We'll give
8 days. Yeah.
8 days. Think about that. Think about that happen now. 4
Yeah,
days.
if over the next, in the last couple weeks, instead of being at like 3,400 ETH, we were at 4,300. And then instead of pulling back to like where we're hovering right now, we pulled back to 1,800. Yeah. And then a month later, it sets a new all-time, or 2 months, 3 months later, it sets a new all-time high.
People would be losing it. And they think we're going through it right now. Gentlemen, we've done way larger moves on these majors from previous cycles whenever the assets were less liquid, and we still survived and made new all-time highs. So that's why whenever we come back all the way over here to where we're at right now, I'm not shaking on our conviction plays with the boys club because I know that ETH is going to break all-time highs this cycle. I'm just under the impression that that's what's going to happen. So however we get there is what remains to be seen. But is it going to happen? In my opinion, yeah, for sure. So heroes bid, heroes accumulate at the lows, understanding that over a long enough period of time, we're going to get that move to the upside again, right? Like we did on ETH all the way up to $4,800, $4,900. We're going to get that move. Therefore, all of our bags are going to pump to new all-time highs. Patience, though. It's patience. A lot of markets, a lot of business, a lot of making money is just being able to outlast the market participants, being able to outlast your other competitors. That's so much of success lies within that itself. Can you outlast the other man, right? You might have a better entry. You might have had a better opportunity to sell. You might have had a better pick on meme coin, etc. But if you get blown out of the markets too early and you can't outlast the other market participants, you'll end up losing money. Can you last the longest, right? Until we get these eventual moves that we know are going to come on ETH, right? So
Yeah. And I mean, I think the fact that it's held, I mean, obviously it did wick down pretty hard, a couple weeks ago. But I mean, it's held very close to like the top of this range. I mean, obviously now we're getting a lot closer than what we were a few days ago. But I just think the fact that it hasn't broken down through the mid range since that initial wick a couple weeks ago.
Right.
If we were going to really roll over and start retesting the bottom of this range and pushing for like 2,000, 2,100, I think it would have already happened.
Right.
And I think Bitcoin would have been continuing to pull back more too. Like we'd be having Bitcoin down at the bottom of that range that it's in, probably like 87, 88,000. And Bitcoin's not showing that sign of weakness. So, yeah, I mean, I think we're good. I think we're definitely going to hold above the mid range. I wouldn't want to see ETH lose like 2,600 really from here moving forward. Even like 2,500.
Right.
I think if we lose that, we're probably going to keep rolling over for another couple weeks. I don't want that to happen.
Right.
But yeah, I think if we maintain like 2,700 and then over the next week or two, like hopefully before the beginning of March or the first week of March after the monthly open, get back into the previous range. And once we're back in the previous range, I think this shit's going to fly. So
yes, I agree. And so this is again this is what best case scenario is going to happen. It's this move right here. The range, the pop out of the range, and then up only. fake everybody out to the upside. That's what we would be hoping here. So that this is basically the start of this move right here. That's
Yeah, and make this and make that move to 4,000 look like that previous move.
Exactly. Well, yeah, then it'll be we'll fucking be all the way up in here. I mean, we'll be in price discovery. Is that what you mean?
Oh yeah, I'm saying like hopefully this next leg up makes it makes this previous move in November
Look
to
tiny.
4,000 look like that little ass move.
Exactly. Yeah, because in the context of this, right, this is way smaller and you got this massive pump out of this. This is a much larger range, larger pump out of the range. It's just a larger structure in general. So this move right here is going to look like this. And you're going to come up into $6,000 range. That's what. Yeah, at least. At least. So let's see if that plays out.
And I mean, you could draw this whole thing as a range too. It's like
yeah, exactly. On a 4-year basis, this entire thing's a range anyways.